appeal to people. And there's a universal message, I believe, that all people embrace, regardless of who they are, regardless of the culture. And that message is, I want more for my life. So when I spoke in Switzerland, the response was phenomenal. When I spoke in Poland, over 25,000 people were there with a translator. The response was phenomenal. When I spoke in Australia, the response was phenomenal. This is, I tell you, one of the things that I know about a dream, that when you pursue a dream and you work to master it, you have no idea where that dream is going to carry you. And I had no idea. When I think about my mother lived on 55th Terrace in Liberty City in Miami. And I started having classes in her living room, 5 people. I had no idea that it would lead to me speaking to over 25,000 people in Poland, or 80,000 people here in the United States. Those of you that are listening, if you put in Les Brown, motivational speaker, Georgia Dome, then you'll see me speaking before 80,000 people. I had no idea. And I say this not to impress you of your life. That's what Viktor Frankl said. What is the meaning of your life? And to me, I was with my youngest son, Patrick, who came on the road with me recently. And I said, Patrick, out of nowhere, I said, do you know what I just came up with? He said, what, Dad? 3 things about life. I said, number 1, I say, we have a reason, we have a season, and we are to enjoy ourselves. He said, what are you talking about? I said, we have a reason for being born. We're here to create. God made us, but we create our lives. Everything that exists is a result of man's creation. Computers did not exist in the beginning. Air conditioning, hotels, airplanes, everything that's here that we see, man created. God made us, but we create our lives. We're here to create. We have a reason for being here, to do something major, to do something big. Herein my Father glorify, that ye bear much fruit, not little fruit, much fruit, not just fruit, but much fruit. We're here to do something big with our lives, son. We have a reason. And we have a season. We have a certain amount of time to get the work done. T. Wayne served his time. Charles Phillips served his time. T. Wayne gave his time and his energy to making a big impact with the lives of youth in Columbus, Ohio. And Dr. Phillips served his time in speaking in and out of the church to give people a larger vision of themselves. And they carved out time to enjoy themselves with the people they care about. And so when I look at my life now, and I believe even at 70, my best years are in front of me. Your best years are in front of you. See life in 3 categories. That you have a reason for being here. It's been said, the 2 most important moments in our lives, the day that we are born and the day we realize why we're born. And we have a season. Aurelia said, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. Somebody said life is short, and then somebody else came along and said, no, life isn't short. It just takes most of us too long to start living. And enjoy yourself. What I realized, I'm a very happy person, and I don't find people laughing and enjoying themselves. And we have to carve that out. Many of us are very blessed and don't realize it. Don't realize it. This trip I saw a lot of suffering. Suffering that took my breath away. John the Baptist was baptized, where Jesus was born. That part of the world, the history there, there's a richness, and there's something that you can see there and feel there that you don't get anyplace else. And one of the things, him being on the phone, is an illustration, Stacy. All of us have a tribe. All of us. One of the reasons that I'm doing the speaker training in September is that there are people that will respond to my voice, and there are people who will respond to your voice. But there are people who are going to respond to the voices of people that are listening now. And those people in their tribe will not hear them just in their ears, but they will hear them in their heart. And I want you to get his email because I want to send him some links to some some additional things that I want him to hear. But in final tribute to T. Wayne.
Absolutely. One of the things that you said, Les, which really, I want to go back to the beginning of tonight's call when you talked about the fact that you took that Xanax and everybody told you not to hit the stage because you didn't know what it would do to you. But there's a power in doing what you've been called to do. And there have been callers who've been on, listening, hearing, and they're still unsure, Les, about how to stay in that authentic space, how to still live their dreams when things are going wrong or the bank account is not adding up and the relationships might not be right. But you stood in your authentic space. You knew that you would still be able to speak once that microphone was in your hand. What would you say to the callers tonight who are still on the fence of believing that they have what it takes? It might not be a Xanax pill, but it might be something else in their life that everyone is telling them that they won't be able to perform because it's in their way.
And that it will put them to sleep.
Yes.
and let me tell you what will put you to sleep. Weapons of mass distraction. What will put you to sleep to your dream and your calling in life. Someone building a very strong, practical, logical case on why you can't help your dream. Something else that will put you to sleep on your dream is listening to the voice within yourself that's practical, that's logical, that's realistic. Les Brown, you don't have a college education. Les Brown, you don't have 4-color brochures. Les Brown, you don't have the contacts. You have never worked for a major corporation. You don't know how to do the work that you're coming in to motivate people to do. You're charging $1,000 an hour. You're not making $1,000 a week, and you never have. And so those words, the external and the internal, there's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. That those inner words kept me on the sideline, kept me on the bench for 14 years. For 14 years. The same man who stepped into a stadium and 20,000 people stood up and gave me a standing ovation. The same man who spoke for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, the same man that's doing a training for DirecTV in a couple of weeks, and Brian Buffini Corporation, same person, and earned more in 1 hour than it takes for the average American in the Western world to earn working for 7 years. And I'm saying to you that there are several P's that's important. Number one is persistence. I kept coming back again and again and again. Never stop. Just keep coming back. Look for ways to win. There's a Jewish saying, look for beauty in the cracks. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have failures. You're going to have people who say, you can count on me, I will be there. You have people who should be there to encourage you, and they won't. Things are going to happen that you can't anticipate. I thought my friend Boo would be here, that we would grow to be old men together. He's gone. Boo died waiting on a liver transplant. One of the most beautiful people in the world. If I brought Boo to your house, he would find something to fix the garage door, your car. He was just that kind of person. He's gone. My mama, gone. Breast cancer, gone. Things are going to happen all around you. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. But the key is persistence. Keep moving. It's part of the process. It's part of life. Cry if you must. Pray if you must. But keep moving. Don't stop. Keep moving. Crawl. Push forward. I slept in my car. I slept on friends' couches. I never stopped. Next thing is perseverance. Things are going to happen in life that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. Life is full of pain. It's full of pain. And so when we're told, think it not strange that you will face the fiery furnaces of this world. Think it not strange that you will have defeats, that you will have disappointments, that you might go through a divorce, somebody that you said I do to with, and you thought would be with you for the rest of your life. Or your children that you've sacrificed and given your best to, and then they disrespect you and have no value for what you've done for them. It's painful. It's painful. It hurts, and there's no words that can address that. Relatives, friends, who just for some reason turn against you. Jealousy, envy, or just things just blow up in your face. I remember I went to an engagement, and I got there, and they told me to go to the back of the theater early on. And I said, hi, my name is Les Brown. And the guy said, you're not the band leader? I said, no, I'm not. And he closed the door. And I knocked on the door, and he didn't answer. And I went round the front, and they had up front Les Brown. And then I saw the album covers of the white band leader. And I realized they thought I was the band leader. And so I had to leave. It's crushing. It was a crushing experience. I've had, and the most crushing experience, the most painful experience as a speaker was from the African American National Speakers Association. They humiliated me so badly, I cried like a baby because they embarrassed one of my speakers because they were with me. And I cried like a baby. The first experience that I cried, first experience of being humiliated and embarrassed, what made it so painful was the African American National Speakers Association, who was jealous of my accomplishments, who I came and said, can I help you? I'd like to volunteer. Ask me whatever questions you would like to ask me. I'm available to you. And they said, no, we don't want you to provide any advice to us. We'll fine. Willie Jolly was there. He was sitting in the room. He saw it. And they asked me to leave. That was the most embarrassing moment, most humiliating in my life as a speaker. that I've ever experienced. No one has ever treated me like that, and I wasn't accustomed to that. People from all walks of life have embraced me and my message, and I could not understand it. It caught me off guard, but that what I realized, when you have dreams, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen to you. And who you become as you push forward, as you're willing to persist and persevere, it develops a spiritual part of you. It introduces you a part of yourself that you would not know otherwise. I don't even know my parents' name. I'm adopted. And when I think about the poverty that I came up through under a system, the government had laws to hold people who look like me back. And I was still able to come through and to share with people the methods and the techniques that I've learned. I remember a song by Aretha Franklin, How I Got Over. How I got over. Sometimes I look back and I wonder how I got over. Everybody, I want you to write this down. And Stacy, this is a speaker's dream. It's called Periscope. 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 And this, you can every day, people can see you or can see me live if we come on. It's really exciting. Right now, just if you have a passion for making a difference in people's lives, this is a tool that will allow you to do that. You talk to people around the world. Periscope, Periscope. P as in Peter, Eriscope. Download the app. And I'm going to be on there very shortly. And then indicate to me saying, Les, I was on your call. And I'll be able to see. Let me get my glasses and let me get my mascara to cover my gray right quick before I come home.
This is London Calling.
Do you got anything else to ask me? I done forgot the question.
Well, you went on a roll. I know when to let the master share, and I think you shared quite a bit tonight, and the callers are just so excited to hear your voice, and as you spoke about how you kept the faith, how you used, the persistence and the perseverance and understanding the weapons of mass distraction. What I would love for you to share before we close out, and if you have enough time to maybe listen to one or two callers who for the first time are hearing your voice tonight because they've been listening to myself and Anita and the Platinum, but they wanted to just tell you how much they love you themselves directly. We'll do that for 2 minutes.
Well, let me just say to you and Anita, thank you so much. Because to me, real leadership is preparing for people to replace you. And your skills, your knowledge, your growth has been phenomenal. One of the things that I am determined to do, every country that I spoke in, every stage that I went on, it was all headlined by men. There were no women. And I said to my promoter in Switzerland, in Poland, in Australia, I said, there's some women who can speak too. And I will introduce you to them. In South Africa, there are no women out here. And you have no idea of the women who, when you speak, that will just hold on to your words, that will make a difference. There are things how a woman is seen and treated in America is different than other countries. Different. Different. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's parts of India where if a father says to a guy, I want you to marry your son to marry my daughter, and she takes him a dowry, and the dowry doesn't have enough money, then that family has the power to throw gasoline on her and burn her to death. Oh, it's just stuff. And there are parts of Africa where men rape babies because they believe ignorantly they won't get AIDS. That when I was in South Africa and Nigeria, they had signs, don't beat your wife, and then the subtitle said, during the day because it will disturb the neighbors. You know, it was, in the night it would disturb the neighbors. Beat her during the day so her yells and screams would not wake the neighbors up. And there were signs in South Africa for 15 days. Let's not rape, molest, and abuse women and children.
Wow.
That people who do volunteer work and different parts there have a rape kit that they're given because they are guaranteed to be raped. And so this kit is for them not to get pregnant. I'm talking about stuff that barbaric, senseless, inhumane stuff that boggles the imagination. Boggles the imagination. You just say, whoa. Oh my God. My God, who would harm children like this? Who would harm women like this? And I believe that we're here to reduce this pain and this misery and this poverty. We're here to reduce this brutality and this abuse. We're here to reduce the rape and the disrespect and dehumanizing of women. We're here to create a sense of humanity. We're here to eliminate this insanity. We're here for that. That God has chosen us. We're chosen. Out of 400 million sperm, we're chosen to do a work. To do a work. So every day when I get up, my prayer is, use me, God. Use me for your good. Use my voice. Use my voice to awaken people, to expand minds. A young man who used to be involved, I'll be talking with him this evening, in sex trade. He was part of a group of other men who would rape and kidnap young girls and sell them. And somebody gave him one of my cassette tapes, and he heard my voice. And he said there was something in him that said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And he stopped. He stopped. And we're in communication. I'm helping him to get his life together. He stopped. He stopped. He said, I just can't do this anymore. Something that I said that spoke to the humane part of him. I believe, Stacy, we all have the capacity to do that. I really do.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And once again, Les, on behalf of myself and all of the Platinums who have the privilege of working with you, we say thank you for not waiting one more year, one more moment to stand in your purpose, to use your voice, to show us by example what it means to save lives. Because as you said, we don't know who's listening, whose life could be changed just by the words that we speak. I had a similar moment, Les, that I got a phone call from a gentleman who was at a program I did years ago, and he came across one of the products that I sold at the event, and he said he put it in, and it was a moment that felt like his life was being saved because he was so low and in a depression, and it broke him out, and he reached out to say, please send more, and how can I enroll? I was in shock, Les. That hadn't happened to me recently, to know that someone years ago was able to find something that I actually produced and share with the world, and they was able to save and nurture them in that moment. All I could think about was what you tell us all the time, that we have to get our message out, that we have to share our story, that we have to document what we're doing, because we never know whose heart it will land in.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank the people that's on the call tonight. I know there are people who've been holding who want to ask me a question. I'll take two of those, then we have to get ready for the platinum call. But for all of you that are listening, well, how many people do you have? Can you see how many people are listening?
I will pull that up right now, but Les, I want to let them know about the training that we have coming up September 18th and 19th in Orlando, Florida. Yeah. So for those who actually want to be a part of that event, they can log on to www.lesbrown.com to get more information, or they can call.
Sign up right away.
They can sign up right away, and they can also call 954-724-0900. That's 954-724-0900. And if you are interested in seeing Les live in Dallas, you can give me a call or send an email to info@stacyncgrant.com. He'll be down there for a conference, limited time engagement. He will be in Dallas. There are a few folks on the call from Dallas, Les, and they might have a chance to meet you there. So you can email me at info@stacyncgrant, STACIENC, like North Carolina, Grant, GRANT.com. And we will be having a great time sharing the stage there. So stand by, everyone. I'm going to put the call in Q&A mode, and you'll be able to ask a question or give a comment. We can only take 2 or so callers because we have another call, but stand by, everyone.